my fellow book addicts, Megan here, and time for another book review. So, first off, I just want to say I changed, the background a little bit, mostly because I wanted to give you guys a little, slightly more neater view than the messy closets behind me in every single other video. So, anyway, today I am going to be talking about Nevermore by James Patterson, and this is the final book in the Maximum Ride series. This, I believe, is book 8, and it was supposed to be the final book, but in a couple weeks, under 20 days, I think, it's going to be later in the month, a 9th book is going to be released, and I believe the title is Maximum Ride Forever. So, I have mixed feelings about that. I might read it, I might not. I'm kind of scared to read it, especially with how much I did not like this one. Like, I will borderline say I hate this book. And typically, I try to avoid using strong words like hate for books. Because really, most books while I might not like, I wouldn't say I hate. Because they might have some, entertainment factor. I think the only other book I would say I come close to hating would be 50 Shades of Grey, but that's a whole nother can of worms. So I will say this, I was pretty disappointed in this book. I found the ending really anticlimactic. Just, once again, I really wish they had stopped after book 3. Book 3 was great. I loved book 3. Anything after that was just kind of like, eh. So yeah, that's really all I will say without giving spoilers. So if you have not read this book yet, and you plan to read it, I suggest you click away now. So yeah, this book. I cannot emphasize enough how much I wish this series stopped at book 3 now. I really did not like how this series ended. Like I said before, I found it really anticlimactic. There's still drama between, the whole love triangle between Max, Fang, and Dylan, which is driving me insane, because that whole love triangle was so unneeded. I feel the whole series would be infinitely better without a goddamn love triangle. Like I've probably mentioned before, I'm okay with some love triangles. Sometimes they work out great. Sometimes I find the dynamic between the 3 people interesting, and I am happy with it. Most times, though, it seems love triangles are just thrown in there for the hell of it. I still do not like Dylan. I have never liked Dylan. Frankly, if I saw Dylan in real life, I would probably punch him in the face. So, like always, this book is split up between mostly everyone's point of view. And in the last book, we ended with Angel, disappearing and everyone thinking that she is dead. Max and the flock are basically going on as if Angel never existed, which is not a healthy way to cope, first of all. Fang is still AWOL with his little flock, but I'll get to them later. Basically, Max and her flock are going to school again, which is kind of like, It seems annoying that they're trying this yet again. This is their, 2nd or 3rd attempt, and Max doesn't even like the idea of going to school, so the fact she's once again going along with this is just kind of like, Max, this didn't end well before, what makes you think it's going to end well again? And, Dylan is still trying to get with Max, which is just kind of annoying, because it's like, dude, stop. She's not into you. Then you got Fang and his flock doing their own thing. Apparently Star and Kate turn on Fang and the flock, get in touch with Jeb. And apparently there's a clone of Ari now, which is like, why are you bringing him back again? Let him stay dead. And, Ari, the clone Ari kills Maya. And frankly, I thought her death was really unnecessary. Like, it feels like she was just killed off to kind of make the love triangle kind of more concrete. Like, Fang doesn't have another option now. It's Max or no one. And just Fang. Basically, once Star and Kate turn on him and the guys, he's like, oh, well, this is gonna work out, so I'm gonna ditch you two now. The other 2 kids whose names I can't even remember. And, they kind of vanish off the face of the earth after he abandons them. Which Fang doesn't seem like he would just abandon someone like that once, he kind of considers them family. I'm not quite sure I would go as far to say as he thought the other two guys were family, but it seems a little out of character that he'd just ditch them. Like, in the middle of nowhere, too. They weren't even, like, in a city or anything. They were, like, in the middle of nowhere at the side of the road. And, they aren't bird kids. They can't just fly to the nearest civilization. They would have to walk. And they don't, as far as I know, they didn't have any supplies. So it's like, wow, way to leave them for dead, Fang. So that was very annoying. For me, that just kind of felt like, well, we're at the last book now. This is supposed to be the last, so I don't know what to do with these guys, so I'm just gonna have Fang leave them and never mention them again. That's how it felt. And it was annoying. I don't like it when that happens. And yeah, eventually, Angel comes back, and I don't know, I don't really have much of an opinion on Angel. Well, I do. Turns out she is the voice. Not Jeb, she is the voice, which, why? I have a feeling like, there was originally like a firm idea of who the voice would be. Then at the end, Patterson forgot about it. Or was just like, you know what, that's gonna be too complicated to wrap up right now, so I'm just gonna say it's Angel. It's like, it's not even like a twist. It's like, why? Why? No. Why couldn't you just stick with the voice being Jeb? Like, I like that much better than it being Angel. And another thing that annoyed me, speaking of voices, originally Max was the only one who was supposed to have a voice. The only one who could hear the voice. But in this book, it was like everyone either had a voice or could hear the voice. And it's like, no! No! No, 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 no. And let's see, what else annoyed me besides everything? I want to get more specific details. Apparently Fang has something in his blood that could be the key to immortality, more or less. Which was like a what the hell sort of deal. That just kind of made everything take on a much more like magical vibe instead of like science-y. Which is what the flock is. They are a bunch of science experiments. So the fact that, one of them would have the potential key to immortality in their blood, that just doesn't, it doesn't seem to fit well with me. And the fact that you wait till the end of the book series to mention that is just kind of like, that could have made a really interesting, like, continuing plot point if, you mentioned it a few books earlier, instead of, throwing it in there in the last book because reasons. Then the very end. Apparently, the flock was created, as well as, like, any other, like, enhanced humans were created to potentially withstand the end of the world. For, when humans destroyed the world. And, the original end of the world theory was that they were going to release this man-made virus into the population, and it would kill off, like, most of everybody. All these, experiments were created in hopes that some of them would have an edge to survive this horrible disease, and they'd basically be able to survive this biological genocide, I guess I should call it. So yeah, the flock and all the other experiments, as well as some humans, are brought to this little island off in the middle of nowhere. That's been being prepped for years for, the potential survivors of this horrible disease. So first off, the whole disease idea was just kind of like, interesting idea, but with how everything's been building up, you would think Max would actually have to fight and stop the disease from being, like, released in the first place. Her actually save the world, instead of her basically leading a new world order. So I was expecting more of, like, a kick-ass, action-y ending where Max has to actually save the world. So I was really disappointed with that. And do not get me started on how the world actually ends. Some, like, giant comet thing comes really close to the Earth and, like, I don't even know what fully happened. It screwed up the Earth somehow, and just crap happened. So yeah, who knows what the world is like now that this giant comet thing came either super close to the Earth or actually hit the Earth. I couldn't really tell. So yeah, we are left to assume, like, things are now super different out in the wide world. But you know what? That doesn't matter, because, you know, mutant kids have their own little island paradise to live on now. Yay! Happy ending! I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. Because it felt like Max didn't really save the world. You know, most of the world is left to die in some way, shape, or form. Or, you know, suffer and then die in some way, shape, or form. And it's like, that's not saving the world. That's saving a few. Leaving a new world order is not saving the world. Just no. So Max's whole, like, mission in life was a complete bust. So yeah, I was extremely disappointed with the ending of this book. Basically, looking back, everything after book 3 was a huge disappointment. All wrapped into one giant big ball of disappointment. Basically, the next book, Maximum Ride Forever, is supposed to be like picking up, you know, after the big comet thing happened. And yeah, basically what happens after. And part of me wants to read it just to see if maybe the story could redeem itself somehow. Just maybe. But at the same time, I don't want to read it because it could get worse. Not quite sure if I'll read the 9th book in the Maximum Ride series yet or not, but, you know, I have a few weeks left to decide if I actually want to go through reading it or not. I know I won't be buying it for one thing. If I do get it, I'll get it from the library, because, yeah, no, I'm not gonna waste the $20 on a book. No. Not gonna. So yeah, what did everyone else think? Was everyone else as disappointed as me? Were you more disappointed? And if so, that's an amazing fret right there. Did you actually like it? If so, why? I'm curious about that. And yeah, what are your thoughts on the series as a whole and what have you? So yeah, that is it for this book review, and I hope to see you guys next time. Keep on reading, my fellow book addicts. Keep on reading.